does not. 1 second, sir. I'll check up with 1 second. It has started, right? Channel open karo.
Yeah,
Check
yeah.
that it started. That's done. SICASA of ICAI. Yes. Yes, it is. It has started, sir. So, good afternoon, friends. We have here Vijay sir, who will be as a economics faculty for you. He has a 12 plus years of professional experience, including 10 plus years in post qualification experience in accounts, taxation, and public finance. He has organized various workshops to train officers of CMWSS board for the preparation of project estimate based on interpretation of GST laws. He is also associated as a faculty of various registered valuer organization for handling economic subject for valuation of securities and financial assets, land and buildings, and plant and machinery. He is also a visiting faculty of SIRC of ICAI and ICMAI and various other reputed institutions and colleges. He is also a content developer. He also develops content to support and deliver the lectures, and the list goes on. So we welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Rahul. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your nice introduction. Group 2, subject 8, in that part B, which deals with economics for finance. So this will be the last attempt for the old syllabus. If that being the case, so this subject will be there in inter only for this attempt. Okay, it has been shifted to foundation level. So from next attempt onwards. So those who are writing in November 2023, for them, okay, this subject is what important because it is form part of your syllabus. Right, sir. So economics for finance. So which consists of 4 chapters. So first chapter 1. So being afternoon session and that too India-Pakistan match is going on. Okay, so I don't know how many of them are in live. Okay, so chapter 1, national income accounting and income determination, national income determination. So which consists of 2 units. One is what national income accounting and Keynesian theory of income determination. Keynesian theory of income determination. So just have a brief idea on national income. National income, which is nothing but circular flow of money. Circular flow of money, that is one person in the economy, consumer, other will be the producer. So here factors, as the consumer will provide land, labor, capital, for the producer. Producer in turn we will supply goods and services. So this is going to be the input and this is going to be the output. So now, sir, it is a real flow. Now this need to be made into the money flow. So that means for producer, in turn, will pay rent, wages, interest and profit, which is nothing but income. This income will be used for payment of goods and services. So in turn, the consumer will pay the price for goods and services supplied by the producer. This is what I will call it as circular flow of money, which is nothing but this payment of goods and services will amount to expenditure. So this process production will amount to income will amount to expenditure. 1 second, friends. So this is nothing but production leads to income. Income leads to expenditure. Again, this expenditure, again, which will be invested in the business for further production. So 3 methods to find out national income is what? Based on production, you can use a product method. Product method, income method, so now we are discussing methods to compute national income. Product method, income method, and expenditure method. Right. Now, product method. Sir, first I will have gross domestic product. GDP. Okay. Now it is called as gross value addition. Gross value added. GVA. Sir, the goods and services produced in domestic territory, which is converted into monetary value, you will get the gross domestic product or gross value added. Gross value added. That means price into quantity produced, not sold. Quantity produced. Produced in domestic territory. Domestic territory. Minus intermediary. Intermediary consumption. Sir, for example, raw material procured for producing finished goods. See, since the raw material produced will already form part of national income, will not be taken into account again. So which results in duplication. So in order to avoid that, I need to reduce the intermediary consumption. I need to reduce the intermediary consumption. I hope you are clear. Now, always remember, friends, gross minus depreciation which gives you net. Gross profit minus depreciation, net profit in the personal accounting. Okay, now in social accounting, national income, which is nothing but social accounting here. Okay, gross domestic product minus depreciation, which gives you what net. For example, this may be a gross national product minus depreciation, net national product. So gross minus depreciation, gross minus depreciation will give you net. Now, domestic income plus NFIA. What is this NFIA? NFIA, which gives you national income. NFIA. NFIA means net factor income from abroad. How to arrive that? Factor income earned by resident in abroad minus factor income earned by non-resident in India. For example, sir, I am resident, Indian resident working in abroad, earning salary, then that will form part of national income, but that will not form part of domestic income, because this income which is not earned in domestic, which is earned in what national level. Whereas PepsiCo Incorporation or PepsiCo Incorporation multinational company earning profit in India, but that will not be in India, it will be repatriated to abroad. Then in that case, factor income earned by non-resident in India will form part of domestic income, but that need to be what reduced for computing national income. So non-resident income in domestic need to be reduced. Factor income earned by a resident in abroad need to be added. That is what the net amount will be called as net factor income from abroad. Net factor income from abroad. So, sir, if I am having GDP plus NFIA, I will get GNP. Sir, if I am having NTP, net domestic product, plus NFIA, I will get NNP. This NNP, which is nothing but net national product, which is nothing but national income. Clarity is there? Sir, if price inclusive of indirect taxes. Okay, so here we use the price which is inclusive of indirect taxes. Then I will get a concept called as GDP at market price. Minus, I need to remove the indirect tax, net indirect tax, net indirect taxes to get GDP at factor cost. Okay, this GDP at factor cost, which we call it as gross value added. So this net indirect taxes, which is nothing but indirect taxes minus subsidies. Say my national income, which is nothing but sum of factor income. Factor income will be in the form of rent, wages, interest, profit. But that will be not in the form of taxes. See, when the price inclusive of tax, that means, okay, the price includes tax, indirect tax, which need to be removed. So we are removing the indirect tax and considering only what factor cost for computing national income. Factor cost for computing national income. So what we need to do, GDP minus net indirect taxes, I will get GDP at factor cost or GVA. Okay. So net indirect taxes, which is nothing but indirect taxes minus subsidy. Then, sir, GVA at factor cost minus depreciation I will get NVA. Okay, NVA at factor cost. Okay, NVA at factor cost. Then NVA at the factor cost, which is nothing but NDP, that is domestic income, plus NFIA, I will get NNP at factor cost, which is nothing but NNP at factor cost is also known as national income. National income. This is what under product method. Income method. Under income method, gross value added. Gross value added at factor cost, which comprises of salaries and wages to employees, plus operating income, that is rent plus interest plus profit, that is other than wages and salaries, plus mixed income. That is mixed income means comprises of both labor income wages and salary plus capital income. Plus depreciation. So you all know that now GVA at factor cost minus depreciation, I will get NVA at factor cost. Then NVA at factor cost plus NFIA, I will get what national income. National income. Expenditure method. In expenditure method, there will be a consumption expenditure. Investment expenditure. Government expenditure. This will amount to gross value added at market price. So consumption, investment, government expenditure plus exports, or I can call this as net exports, which is nothing but exports minus imports. GDP or GVA at market price. Now after that, you know, GVA at market price minus net indirect taxes I will get what GVA at factor cost minus depreciation GVA at factor cost minus depreciation, I will get NVA at factor cost, NVA at a factor cost plus NFIA, I will get national income. This NVA at factor cost, which is also called as this NVA at factor cost, which is also called as domestic income, net domestic income. So based on this three method, I'm computing national income. Sir, all the three methods which need to give you the same value of national income, same value of national income. Sir, once I got the national income, okay, if we divided by the average population, I will get the per capita income. Okay, state-wise, state domestic product can also be find out. State for knowing the state income. So this is what about 3 methods to compute national income. Sir, why we need to compute national income? Say, my real flow of factors and the goods and services need to be matched with the money flow. Then only I will call it as equilibrium. Sir, when there is excess of money over goods and services, people will have money, but they will not go. They will not have goods and services. Then in that case, they will demand goods and services at a high price. There will be a rise in price, which results in inflation. So the other way round is what, sir, goods and services are there in the market, but people are not having money. Real flow is there, but there is no money flow. Then, sir, in order to clear the goods, seller will sell the goods at a low price. In order to clear the market, people will sell the goods at a low price, which is less than the cost, which results in loss. Okay, so over a period of time, producer will vanish from the market. So that we call it as deflation, reduction in price will amount to deflation. Over a period of time, that may result in what? Depression. In order to avoid these two extremes, the government need to attain the national income equilibrium. When national income is said to be equilibrium, national income equilibrium. When national income is said to be equilibrium, means when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Sir, here we are discussing macroeconomics. Okay, so macroeconomics, which deals with aggregate income, okay, or that is microeconomics deals with individual income. For example, sir, what will be your salary? What will be the price of goods? What will be the market price of that product? That is dealt in microeconomics. Microeconomics theory, which is also known as price theory. But whereas the macroeconomics theory is also known as income theory. Objective of the macroeconomics is to attain the national income equilibrium. That is what said by John Maynard Keynes. Sir, this aggregate demand which is equal to aggregate supply Sir, aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. For example, sir, 10,000 units are demanded, but the economy has the resources to produce 15,000 units, but the economy need to produce only 10,000 units. Okay, so aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply even at under employment. Even at underemployment, that is full employment. Full employment means optimum utilization of resources. Resources will not be the condition, will not be condition for equilibrium. So whatever demanded by the consumer in the market, that will be produced. Even though you are having a excess capacity, you will produce to the extent of the demand. You will not produce more than that. So this aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Sir, when you demand the goods, you need to pay the price for that goods. So aggregate demand will amount to aggregate expenditure. That aggregate expenditure, sir, when I produce the goods, I will supply the goods. When I supply the goods, I will get what? Money. So which is nothing but my aggregate income. So aggregate expenditure which is equal to aggregate income. Now, Sir, aggregate expenditure. Aggregate expenditure, which is nothing but now we are discussing there is no government, okay, national income equilibrium under two sector model. Assume there is no role of government. There is no role of foreign trade. Aggregate expenditure will be consumption. For immediate consumption, I will incur the expenditure, consumption expenditure, plus, okay, there will be a investment expenditure. Now, so this is what I will call it as C plus I. AI, sorry, AY. AY stands for aggregate income. AD stands for aggregate demand. AS stands for aggregate supply. AE stands for aggregate expenditure. AY stands for aggregate income. Aggregate income, which is nothing but consumption plus savings. So that means C plus I which is equal to C plus S. So C will get cancelled. I is equal to S. Investment, which is equal to savings. Okay, so this is done by banking industry. They convert what individual savings into what investment for the producer. Banking industry. The banking industry is governed by a policy called as monetary policy. Now, C, consumption. Consumption, which is the function of income. Income increases, consumption will increases. Sir, even though there is no income, there will be some amount of consumption, which I will call it as autonomous consumption, which is nothing but A. We assume A as what? Autonomous consumption. There is no income, but there will be a expenditure. For example, beggar has no income, but there will be some expenditure. COVID time, people are not having money. Okay, people are not having income. Can we say that there is no expenditure? No, there will be a expenditure. Okay, that type of expenditure which will be called as autonomous expenditure, which is not based on your income. But there are few expenditure which is based on your income, which is called as BY. Okay, A is autonomous expenditure, B is what? Induced expenditure. Assume C is equal to 500 plus 0.5y. That means whether you are having income or not, you will be in a position to spend what? 500 rupees. What is this 0.5y? Sir, 0.5y, which is nothing but, sir, if I earn income 100 rupees, out of which, okay, 0.5, that is 50% will be spent. So what will happen to balance 50%? That will be saved. Clarity is there? So autonomous consumption, assume C is equal to 500 plus 0.5y. I am having a income, different okay, amount of income are there. If income is equal to 0, even though there is no income, there will be an autonomous expenditure of 500. Sir, since there is no income, BY will be what? 0, because my income itself is 0. 0.5 into income 0 will amount to what? 0. So what will be my total consumption? My total consumption will be 500. That means when there is no income, even though there is no income, there will be an expenditure of 500. There will be an expenditure of 500. That is what I will call it as autonomous expenditure. Clarity is there? Suppose income 1000, then 500, 500. Okay, how I got this 500? 1000 into 0.5, 500. So my total expenditure will be 1000. So my income is equal to consumption. My income is equal to consumption. That means, sir, my income increases by 1000 rupees, my expenditure from 500 it increases to 1000. Okay, my consumption expenditure from 500 it increases to 1000. So 500 rupees there is an increase. So 500 divided by 1000, which is equal to 0.5. That is what I will call it as MPC, total consumption expenditure. The C stands for what? Total consumption expenditure. So MPC, marginal propensity to consume, which is equal to delta C divided by delta Y. Delta C divided by delta Y, which is equal to 0.5. This is going to remain same. MPC, which is nothing but B. APC, which is equal to consumption divided by income. Consumption divided by income. Sir, when your income is less, you will spend the entire amount on consumption. As your income increases, your consumption, the proportion of income spent on consumption, okay, decreases. Savings will what happen? Increases. பணம் கம்மியா இருக்கும்போது கன்சம்ஷன் தான் அதிகமா இருக்கும். பணம் இன்கம் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆக ஓகே, செலவு இன்கம் மேல பார்க்கும்போது கம்மியாயிட்டும், ஆனா சேவிங்ஸ் அதிகமாகவும் ஆகும். Richer became richer. Why it is happening? Because they are able to save. Poorer became poorer. It is happening because they are having income just for their spending. $2,000, 500,000. Okay, this autonomous consumption expenditure will remain same. Whatever be the income, it remains same. But induced consumption expenditure increases with change in income. Increases with increase in income. $1,500. Then 3,000. Okay. Now savings function. Savings. S is equal to minus A plus 1 minus BY. Minus A, whatever the autonomous consumption expenditure, even though there is no income, if you are able to spend, that means that will amount to this saving. Your liability will be called as autonomous expenditure. ஒண்ணு சேர்த்து வச்சிருந்த காசுல இருந்து செலவு பண்ணோம், இல்லனா கடன் வாங்கி செலவு பண்ணோம். Both will amount to this savings, so it is in negative. Sir, if I'm able to spend 50% of my income, then balance 50% will be savings. That is what 1 minus BY. So that means when there is no income, there is autonomous expenditure which results in this savings of minus 500. When my income 1000, then sir, my consumption expenditure which is equal to 1000, that means savings will be 0. This is what I will call it as savings. At 2000, my consumption expenditure 1500. So out of 2000, I'm able to spend 1500 rupees. So balance 500 savings. At 3000 income, I spend 2000 rupees. My total consumption expenditure. So balance 1000 will be savings. So y is equal to c plus s. S is equal to y minus c. Clarity is there? Same way MPS, okay, which is nothing but change in savings. Here change in savings from negative 500 it became 0. So 500 divided by change in income 1000. So 0.5. So MPC plus MPS which is equal to 1. So 1 minus MPC I will get MPS. So 1 minus B which is nothing but MPS. As the income increases, APS, it is not APC, APS, average propensity to save, will increases. Now, sir, two sector model where we said already that AD is equal to AS, which is nothing but AE is equal to AY, which is nothing but C plus S, which is equal to C plus I. So that means at equilibrium, I can say my income, national income, Y is equal to C plus I, which can be rewrite as Y is equal to C can be written as A plus BY plus I. A and I remains constant. remains constant. Autonomous expenditure and investment remains constant. This is an assumption. That means, as already we said that C is equal to 500 plus 0.5y, investment is equal to 500. That is going to remain constant. Then what will happen? Sir, at the zero income, there will be autonomous expenditure of 500. Then, sir, induced consumption expenditure will be zero because income is not there. So I can't spend. Sir, there will be a investment expenditure which is going to remain what? Same 500. So 500 consumption expenditure, autonomous expenditure plus investment 500, which is equal to 1000. That means even though there is no income, okay, there will be a expenditure of 1000. That means my expenditure which is greater than what? Income. My expenditure greater than income. Expenditure we already said it as what? Demand. Income we said it as what? Supply. So demand greater than supply. When demand greater than supply, then which results in inflation. Okay, whenever there is a demand greater than supply, sir, during COVID time, the hospital charges, bed charges increases. Why it increases? Because demand greater than supply. Recently, tomato price increases. Okay, it is due to what? Demand greater than supply. When there is excess demand or deficient supply, then which results in inflation. See, at income 1000, there will be a 500 rupees autonomous consumption expenditure. Okay, 0.5 on 1000, that will be the induced consumption expenditure. So my total consumption expenditure 1000 plus okay, there will be investment expenditure of what? 500. So total which comes to what? 1500. But whereas my income is what? 1000 rupees. Again, my expenditure greater than income. So which results in what? Inflation. At rupees 2000, 500 autonomous expenditure, 1000 induced consumption expenditure, total which comes to 1500, plus there is investment expenditure remains same. Okay, so total aggregate expenditure will be what? 2000. So my expenditure which is equal to what? Income. This is what I will call it as equilibrium point. What happen if income increases to 3,000? Then 500, 1,500. So my total consumption expenditure 2,000, whereas my investment 500, 2,500. That means I'm having 3,000 rupees income, but I'm spending only 2,500 rupees. So which results in what? Deflation. People are not having what? That is, people are not willing to spend money. At income 4,000, okay, there also what? Aggregate supply greater than aggregate demand. That means my income more than what? Expenditure. That means I'm holding the money. I'm not releasing the money into an economy. You are holding in the bureau locker. So only rich people will have money in their locker. That will not be passed on to the poor people. So only rich people can demand the goods. Okay, poor people can't demand the goods since they are not having money. So rich people will supply the goods, but poor people are not able to create the demand. Then what happened, which results in deflation? இவனுக்கும் பிரச்சனை, அவனுக்கும் பிரச்சனை. அவன் கிட்ட காசு இல்ல, வாங்க முடியல. இவன் கிட்ட காசு இருக்கு, இவன் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்றான், ஆனா வாங்கறதுக்கு ஆள் இல்ல. அப்ப first you need to create the demand. அப்ப when the demand will be created? Okay, only when you are having the purchasing power. Purchasing power will be, okay, you will get the purchasing power only by way of what? Holding the money. Only by way of getting income. பணம் இல்லைன்னா பர்ச்சேசிங் பவர் இருக்காது. இன்கம் இல்லைன்னா பணம் இருக்காது. பணம் இல்லைன்னா பர்ச்சேசிங் பவர் இருக்காது. பர்ச்சேசிங் பவர் இல்லைன்னா டிமாண்ட் இருக்காது. டிமாண்ட் இல்லைன்னா அதுக்கான சப்ளை இருக்காது. இல்லைன்னா இருக்கிற ஏற்கனவே ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணி வச்ச கூட்ஸ் அப்படியே மார்க்கெட்ல தங்கி இருக்கும். யாரும் வாங்கறதுக்கு ரெடியா இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. Now, so two sector model where my AD is equal to what? AS. Now, sir, in two sector model, I can rewrite the national income equilibrium like this. At equilibrium, national income is equal to A plus BY plus I. I am taking Y this side. Appo Y minus BY is equal to A plus I. Appo Y is equal to A plus I into 1 minus B. So which is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus B into A plus I. This is what Y is equal to. That means, sir, here we are substituting 500 plus 0.5y plus 500. So y minus 0.5y, which is equal to 1000. Y is equal to 1000 divided by 0.5, which is equal to 2000. So that is what we are getting at 2000, where AD is equal to AS. National income is said to be equilibrium. என்னப்பா புரியுதா? ஹலோ, Rahul, are you able to hear me? Hello. So till now, we said that, sir, investment remains constant. What will happen if I change the investment? If I change the investment, that is, if I increase the investment, change in investment 250. Already 500 plus there is a additional investment of 250, which comes to what? 750. So that means now what will happen? Sir, Y is equal to 500 plus 0.5 Y plus 750. That means my income increases to 2500. That is 1250 divided by 1 minus 0.5. So my national income will be 2500. So if I increase the investment by 250, which results in increase in income by 500. Sir, when investment increases, income will also increases. How many times it increases? That is what given by investment multiplier. K is equal to delta Y divided by delta I. Change in income 500 divided by change in investment 250. So that means 2 times. So as you know that at equilibrium, C plus I is equal to C plus S, which is equal to I is equal to S. So I can write that delta Y is divided by delta I, which is equal to delta Y divided by delta S. We already know that, sir, delta S divided by delta Y, which is nothing but MPS. அப்ப இங்க அப்படியே என்ன இருக்குன்னா உல்டாவா இருக்கு. delta Y divided by delta S. அங்க delta S divided by delta Y. அப்ப delta S divided by delta Y na, okay, 1 divided by MPS, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. Or I can say MPC, which is nothing but B, 1 divided by 1 minus B. So K is equal to investment multiplier, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus B. Now, sir, as your consumption increases, always remember, friends, consumption, okay, will be a injection for national income. Investment will be a injection. Savings will be a leakage. Consumption panna income increase ஆகும். Savings panna income decrease ஆகும். That is savings in the zero locker. Savings need to reach what? Bank. So that only bank is opening more branches to mobilize the savings. Sir, I am not consuming at all, sir. எனக்கு வர இன்கம் மொத்தம் சேவ் பண்ணிடுறேன். அப்ப மல்டிப்ளையர் வில் பி 1. சார், இந்த மல்டிப்ளையர் எஃபெக்ட்ன்றது என்னன்னா, ஒரு சின்ன கல்ல தூக்கி கிணத்துலயோ குளத்துலயோ போடுறோம். ஒரு ஸ்பைரல் ரேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் சர்க்கிள்ஸ் வரும். புரியுதா? அது பெருசா வந்தா ஓகே, தென் மோர் மல்டிப்ளையர் எஃபெக்ட். இல்ல சார், சின்னதா தான் சார் இருக்கு, இல்ல ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல சார், அப்ப மல்டிப்ளையர் எஃபெக்டே இல்ல. அப்ப when you are not spending money, you are just saving the money, then okay, money multiplier will be 1. இல்ல சார், 0.4 40% கன்சியூம் பண்றேன், 60% சேவ் பண்றேன், அப்ப 1.67. சார், பாதி பாதி பண்றேன் சார், 0.5 0.5, then it is 2. okay, so sir, consumption 80% பண்றேன் சார், savings 20% பண்றேன் சார், then multiplier effect will be what? 5. That means you can find out more money flow into an economy. When you are entirely consuming the money, okay, then multiplier will be infinity. So direct relationship between MPC and investment multiplier, okay, MPC, autonomous consumption increase ஆனாலும் national income increase ஆகும், investment increase ஆனாலும் national income increase ஆகும். செலவு பண்ண ஒருத்தனோட செலவு ஒருத்தனுக்கு இன்கம் ஆகும். அப்ப அவன் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணுவான், அது இன்னொரு இன்கமை உண்டாக்கும். அந்த இன்கம் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் கொண்டு வரும். Like that, spending and investment multiplier will have direct relationship. Saving and investment multiplier will have inverse relationship. Clarity is there? One second, friends. Rahul, shall we start? Hello. Right. So whatever we have discussed till now is what two sector model. Now we need to move for three sector model. So three sector model. Role of government, and absence of foreign trade. Here again, at equilibrium, government plays a major role. So whenever AD greater than AS, that is this which results in what inflation. AS greater than AD, deflation. In both the cases, government intervention is what required. Required. Required to perform stabilization function. So if government want to perform stabilization function, okay, government will need to incur expenditure. In order to incur that expenditure, government need to levy taxes. So AD, which is equal to AS AD, which is nothing but AE here C plus I plus, that is sir, consumption expenditure incurred by public, investment expenditure incurred by the producer, plus there will be a government expenditure. Which is equal to my income, okay, will be for part spent on consumption, savings, plus there will be a part of income will be on tax. Sir, here y is equal to YD, disposable income. Disposable income which is equal to Y income minus tax. That means, sir, if you earn 1 lakh rupees, you can't spend 1 lakh rupees, out of which you need to pay the tax. Balance will be what amount eligible for disposal. So that is what I will call it as disposable income, which is equal to, okay, Y minus T. Y minus T. Clarity is there? So that means here the next level I will say consumption remains same. So I need to make G is equal to T. Government expenditure which need to be equal to what? Tax collection. Balanced budget. Balanced government budget. Receipts which is equal to expenditure. Tax is a major source of receipt which is equal to expenditure. So lump sum tax. So here, sir, there is a fixed component of tax. It is not based on the proportion of your income, okay, which is fixed amount. Sir, whether you are earning or not, traffic police charging 1,000 rupees from you for violation of not wearing the helmet or crossing the signal, then this will amount to lump sum payment to the exchequer, that is the government. It is not based on your income. Sir, tax means it is not only you need to consider as a income tax. So whatever the payment made to exchequer will amount to what tax. Whatever the payment made to the government will amount to tax. Clarity is there? So here I will say C is equal to BYD. What is mean by YD? YD, which is nothing but disposable income, which can be find out income minus what personal taxes. Personal income minus personal taxes. So BYD plus I plus so you know that when C is equal to A plus BYD, YD is equal to Y minus T, then at equilibrium, Y is equal to C plus I plus G, C is equal to A plus BYD plus I plus G. So BYD can be write it as what Y minus T. So that means B into Y, this side it will go, B into T, this side will be there. So this is what I will call it as national income at equilibrium when there is a lump sum tax 1 divided by 1 minus B into A minus BT plus I plus G. So I am writing like this: C is equal to 100 plus 0.8y G is equal to 20. T is also equal to 20. I is equal to 50. So if that be the case, A 100 plus BT 0.8 20. So plus 20 plus 50. Divided by 1 minus 0.8. So that means what will be the answer? So 100 minus 16 plus 20, 76, 156. So 780 will be the national income at equilibrium. So transfer payment. So, sir, when the individual paying tax to the government, that need to be reduced. But whereas the government is giving, okay, money, okay, then that need to be added. See, always personal income. Personal income okay. Personal income minus personal taxes plus transfer payment. Transfer payment means government is giving unemployment allowance, pension. Okay, then that will also the income eligible for what expenditure. That is that will also amount to disposable income. That will also amount to disposable income. So that is what happening here. So if that be the case, okay, this will be the national income equilibrium. Okay, when there is a tax function in the sense tax which has two components. One tax component which is autonomous in nature, that is lump sum tax, plus tax as percentage of income. Tax as percentage of income. That is, for example, income tax. If your income 1 lakh per month, then 12 lakhs, then a particular slab rate will be applicable. Sir, if it is going to be 3 lakhs per month, then 3 lakhs, then the slab rate will what happen? Differ. Then the rate of tax will also differ. So if that be the case, tax as a proportion of what income, then this is going to be a multiplier, tax multiplier. Earlier we discussed the investment multiplier. Investment multiplier K is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus B. Whereas tax multiplier, tax as a percentage of income, then tax, see, always tax is a leakage. When tax increases, tax rate increases, multiplier decreases. Tax rate increases, multiplier decreases. Here you see MPC 0.5 remains same. Sir, 10% tax rate. Then how to find out? 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 this 1 minus 0.5 into 1 minus 0.1. That means I need to write like this: 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 into 0.9. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா 1 divided by 1 minus 0.45. Then I will get 1 divided by 1 minus 0.55. Sorry, sir. This will be the answer. This is what round off year to 1.82. See, please be careful. It is not 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 into 1 minus t. It is 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5. That 0.5 into 1 minus 0.1. Please be careful here. Then, sir, tax rate increases to 20%. Then what will happen to multiplier? Multiplier decreases to 1.67. Same way, tax rate increases to 30%. Then multiplier will what happen? Decreases. Sir, government expenditure, which is the injection. Okay, tax is a leakage. Whenever leakage increases, savings leakage, tax leakage. Okay, in 4-sector model, we will discuss import will be a leakage. Whenever leakage increases, okay, multiplier will decreases. Samjha? So with this, we have completed 3-sector model. Four-sector model. So role of foreign trade, role of government and foreign trade. Four-sector model. At equilibrium, aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. Aggregate demand, which is nothing but aggregate expenditure, aggregate supply, which is nothing but income. Okay, so aggregate demand is equal to aggregate expenditure, which is nothing but my expenditure will be in the form of consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, government expenditure, plus I need to incur expenditure for producing the goods which are exported outside India. I need to spend money for that. Okay, so exports will be the expenditure. Import will be the component of my income. Sir, out of my income earned, portion of income will be spent on domestic goods, portion of income will be spent on imported goods. Okay, then portion will be what paid as tax. Portion of income will be okay saved for future. So that is what AD is equal to AE, which is equal to C plus one second. C plus I plus G plus X. AS, which is equal to AY, which is equal to C plus S plus T plus M. So CC get cancel. I plus G plus X, which is equal to S plus T plus M. So in foreign trade policy, okay, this is what, sir, 3 chapters, sir. Including national income, there are 4 chapters. Okay, sir, 4 chapter. Okay, one is what? National income. Then second chapter, fiscal policy, where I am going to equate the government expenditure with the tax. Third chapter, monetary policy, where I am going to equate the investment with what? Savings. Fourth chapter is what? International trade policy, which is nothing but foreign trade policy, where I will achieve a balanced trade by equating exports, which is equal to imports. Now, sir, y at equilibrium, y is equal to c plus I plus g plus x minus m. This is what we have discussed in expenditure method. Expenditure method for computing what? National income. A plus BYD. Investment remains constant. G is equal to T. Balanced budget. And my imports, okay, as two component. One is what? Autonomous imports. Another one is import as a percentage of income. So as my income increases, the money spent on imported goods will also what happen? Increases. So if that be the case, y is equal to a plus b, y minus t plus g plus x minus m. So that m now will be replaced by what? Caps m minus small my. So y is y minus by plus my, which is equal to a minus bt plus g plus x minus m. That means, okay, y is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus b plus m into a minus bt plus g plus x minus m. That means marginal propensity to import, small m, okay, which is also a leakage. See here, 0.5 MPC. That means 1 minus 0.5 S MPS plus 0.1, then divided by 1 divided by 0.5 plus 0.1. It is not 1 minus b plus m. It is 1 minus b plus m. Please be careful. Same way here also. 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 plus 0.2. That means 0.7. So as your import increases, that means you are parking your national income not in the domestic goods instead of foreign goods. Instead of domestic goods, you are parking in what? Foreign goods. That means your national production will reduces. Instead of buying local goods, when you are buying imported goods, then local production falls. When local production falls, then our national income will what? Falls. Okay, when national income falls, okay, then okay, people will not have the money. So the multiplier effect will what? Shrink. in case when a marginal propensity to import what happen increases. See here, when 10% of the income spent on imports, okay, then it is 1.66. Whereas when it increases to 0.3, okay, that is 30% of income spent on import increases to 30%. Okay, then multiplier reduces to 1.25. So inverse relationship between marginal propensity to import and what foreign trade multiplier. So, sir, as a economy, okay, try to achieve aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. If you are not able to achieve aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply, sir, market on its own able to achieve what aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. But when market is not in a position to achieve aggregate demand which is equal to aggregate supply, that is demand greater than supply or supply greater than demand, then this may have a adverse impact on the economy in the form of inflation or deflation. Then the government policy need to be what in place to overcome this inflation and deflation. So for that purpose, there is a need for government. So role of government in an economy, which is what dealt in chapter 2, fiscal function. Chapter 2, unit 1, fiscal function. So whenever the demand and the supply are not matching, okay, they are not equal, they are not said to be equilibrium, then there will be a market failure. There will be a market failure. For example, sir, we all need safety and security, which is not available in the market. We demand for safety and security, but which is not available in the market. Then the government forced to provide safety and security to the people. So when market is not in a position to provide, then the government need to provide. Or market abusing the resources of the economy, then the government need to restrict that. Okay, when people are not having the money to demand goods and services, then the government need to take some steps to put money in the hands of the public. During COVID time, people are not having money. Okay, government distributed what some income to the people through fair price shop. Sir, grosser level, when aggregate demand greater than aggregate supply, then inflation, price or fall in price, both will have adverse impact. That price stabilization need to be achieved through stabilization function. So role of government is inevitable in an economy. This is what given by Richard Musgrave. Okay, he came out with 3 functions of the government. Okay, one is what? Allocation function, redistribution function, second, third, stabilization function. Allocation function, sir, there is a demand, but there is no supply in the market. Sir, there is a need for beds. There is a need for medicine during COVID, but market is inefficient to supply goods. Okay, then that need to be fulfilled through what? That need to be fulfilled through the government. So government, okay, created the bed for patients. So that is what, sir. First, government will watch. If the private is able to do that, then okay, government will be very silent. If the private is not able to do that, if market is not able to do that, then the government need to do that. Okay, so that is what we call it as allocation function. Okay, so sir, why this allocation function need to be performed by the government? Sir, sometimes there won't be a proper allocation or misallocation of resources. Sir, instead of allocating resources for merit goods, market may allocate the resources for the demerit goods. In order to avoid that misallocation of resources, okay, government need to what play a role. So allocation function to be performed when there is a market failure. Reasons for market failure are 4 reasons. One is what? The market power, that is the monopoly. Most of the time, okay, market will create the monopoly in order to enjoy the profit. So government need to be a competitor for that. So monopoly, that is the market power. Next is what? Externalities. Sir, misallocation of resources or giving what? Incentive for correct allocation of resources. Both are need to be performed by what? The government. Externalities. Okay, then public goods. Then last one is what? Information failure. Information failure. See, public goods is what? Sir, which is the common goods enjoyed by all. So that can only be provided by the government. Sir, safety and security can be provided only by the government, not by the market. That is what? Public goods. Information failure. When I am not having a proper information about the product, then I may choose the wrong product. Okay, which we call it as lemons market. So these are all the reasons for market failure. This market failure which results in what? Allocation function. Then redistribution function which is ensure the distribution of wealth and income in a fair manner. For example, sir, economically backward communities, okay, providing employment opportunity. Then we call it as what? Redistribution function. Okay, achieving equity and fairness, not equality, equity. Okay, equity in the sense, sir, if a person want to see the cricket match, there are 2 persons try to see the cricket match in the ground from outside. There is a big wall. One person is so height, okay, he can see the match without any assistance, but there is another person who is short, but he want to see the cricket match, but due to his physical condition, he is not able to see that match. Then if stool is provided for him, then that will amount to what equity. By seeing the needy person and providing them the assistance, which results in equity. Instead of giving money to all, identifying the needy person and providing assistance will be what results in equity. So equity need to be achieved rather than what equality. Right, sir. Then stabilization function. By implementation of the monetary policy and fiscal policy, macroeconomic stability can be achieved. Sir, first two functions are called as microeconomic functions of the government. Second two functions are called as, third function will be called as stabilization function. Okay, this is what dealt in theory of public finance. Public finance, fiscal function, all are one and the same. As I said, the reason for market failure is what imperfect competition, externality. Okay, then public goods, imperfect information, inequalities. To overcome all this problem, okay, the government policies are in place. So what the government will do, government can directly produce the goods or influence the private to produce the goods by giving incentives and disincentives, and influence allocation through its competitive policies, regulatory activities, legal and administrative framework, mixture of this intermediate technique. Aim of redistribution function. So progressive taxation. Sir, income tax, individual income tax is based on slab rate. A person who is earning less will pay more tax. Sorry, a person who is earning less will pay less tax. Okay, a person who is earning more will pay what more tax. Okay, that is, sir, a person who is earning 5 lakhs, less than 5 lakhs income will be not liable for what tax at all. A person who is earning more than 5 lakhs will be paying tax. That means richer need to pay what more tax than poorer. And sir, incentives is also based on what your economic position. Employment reservation, special schemes for backward region and for the vulnerable section of the population. Stabilization function. The objective is to achieve the full employment and price stability. So for that, to overcome inflation, contagion effect means contagious. COVID is a contagious disease. It will be spread from one person to another, from one country to another. Like that, economic instability also spread from one country to another country. Now Israel war is going on. Okay, so there may be some disturbance on what imports and exports. That will have an impact on our GDP. So monetary policy objective is to control the size of money supply and the cost of money, that is the interest rate. Okay, that will have an impact on the consumption, investment, and prices. Fiscal policy, okay, which is will have a direct action on what individual and organization by means of its expenditure and taxation decision. Okay, taxation will have impact on what individual and organization, and also government expenditure. If government incur more expenditure, government expenditure will be the income for the public. Okay, so demand will what happen? Increases. But when the government is cut down the expenditure, okay, then that will have what adverse impact on what economic growth. So during inflation, the government will cut down their expenditure and raises the taxes. Okay, during recession, government will boost up their expenditure. Okay, they will do the pump premium activity. Okay, that means they will supply the money into what market, so that people will have adequate money in their hands to demand goods and services. So with this, we have completed unit 1. Then market failure. See, market failure on account of market demand which is not equal to market supply. It may be due to demand side or it may be due to supply side. The reason for 4 major reasons for market failure is what? Market power, incomplete information, public goods, and externalities. Market power, as I said, market power, which is nothing but monopoly power. They will not produce goods at the optimum level. Always there will be underproduction to create the artificial scarcity to increase the price in order to increase the profit. Externalities. Externality, say, because of my action, that will have implication on the others, or sometime my action will have impact on myself itself. Sir, I am throwing the banana in the street on which someone is falling, okay, that will be, okay, reciprocal. If I itself will fall, that will amount to unidirectional. Sir, in a company, construction work is going on that creates so much of noise that has impact on the production. Unidirectional. Okay, people are shouting, teacher is not able to take the class. Okay, then that will have what? Reciprocal. This externality, which is also called as spillover effect, neighborhood effect, third party effect. This again, this externality, which is classified into positive externality as well as negative externality. Sir, this positive externality, which is on the consumer as well as producer, okay, then that can be again classified as a positive production externality on production or on consumption. Same way, negative production externality on production as well as on consumption. That means if I am doing some act that has impact on, okay, production as well as that has impact on consumption, the act which is performed by me may have, okay, positive or negative. That means the act which will have positive or negative, that positive will have impact on producer or the consumer. Clarity is there? Here, negative production externality. This negative production externality, that is polluting the water, this will have impact on the consumer who are getting water for drinking. Sir, this will have impact on the fishermen who are fishing, who are okay, engaged in fishing activity for production. So negative production externality on consumption, drinking water, negative production externality on production for fishing activity. Same way. Negative consumption externality. Smoking in the public place, which is the consumption externality. That will have adverse impact on the consumer who are passing the road. So that will have the negative consumption externality. For example, when they are smoking in public place, then suppose if they are smoking near a particular shop, then that particular shop will lose the business on account of this negative consumption externality. Positive consumption externality. Vaccination. Since you are vaccinated, you will not make others to infect on that basis. Sir, since you are fit or you are educating yourself, you are equipping yourself, doing some training programs or engaging yourself in the training activities, on account of which your employer will benefit out of you, then that will have positive consumption externality. Positive consumption externality. நான் ஒரு கோர்ஸ் படிக்கிறதுனால எனக்கு மட்டும் பெனிஃபிட் இல்லை, என்னோட எம்ப்ளாயருக்கும் பெனிஃபிட்டா இருக்கு. ரைட்டா? அதே என்னோட எம்ப்ளாயர் எனக்கு ட்ரைனிங் கொடுக்கிறாரு, then it is called as positive production externality. எம்ப்ளாயர் உங்களுக்காக செலவு பண்ணாருன்னா அது உங்களுக்கு பெனிஃபிட். You are going to be a consumer. அதே நீங்க உங்களுக்கு செலவு பண்ணிட்டு ஒரு கோர்ஸ் பண்றீங்க, அதனால எம்ப்ளாயருக்கு பெனிஃபிட்டா இருந்ததுன்னா then it is called as positive consumption externality. See, private cost plus this external cost, which gives you the social cost, See here, private benefit, then there is a private cost. So market will take this private benefit and private cost into account. They will not consider the external cost into account. So this is going to be the equilibrium point where you fix the price, and this is going to be your output, equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. But when there is a external cost associated to that on account of pollution, then my marginal private cost okay, will not consider that. For example, private cost consider only the factors cost. But in addition to factor cost, there will be a pollution cost which need to be taken into account. But that has been left out by what market, because it is external to the market. So I need to bring that pollution cost within the ambit of market. Then in that case, okay, my social cost will be more than private cost. So what will happen when cost increases? Okay, my supply curve, upward sloping supply curve will shift to leftward. But my demand curve, my benefit curve remains the same. So now this is going to be the revised equilibrium point, where since on account of increase in pollution, price has been increased, as well as okay, the production also decreases. Since I have not considered this okay, social cost into account, I have produced more, which results in loss of social welfare. This loss of social welfare will be called as dead weight loss. So public goods which is also called as consumption goods or social goods, okay, which is enjoyed by all. If one person consume that goods, that will not have impact on what usage of another person. So that is what individual consumption of such a good lead to no subtraction from any other individual consumption of that same good. Characteristics of private goods. Okay, private good will have direct satisfaction to the people. I own that good. Okay, you have the private ownership. Okay, rivalrous. Once I purchase that good, okay, I will not make other person to what use that goods. So it will be excludable. Okay, you can't get the private good at a free of cost. Okay, so no free rider problem. Okay, it can be parceled and it can be divisible in nature. Okay, and can be rejected by the consumers. Okay, additional resources or cost are involved for each and every unit of production. So there will be a marginal cost. Okay, issue of fairness and justice will not arise. Okay, and the market will efficiently allocate the resources. Okay, these are all the private goods examples and characteristics. Public goods. No direct payment by consumer is involved in the case of pure public goods. Public goods is non-rival in consumption. Public goods are non-excludable. Okay, you can't fight for public goods. Okay, since one person using that goods, the other person can't be what excluded. We all can walk in what roads and streets. Okay, laid by the government. But when toll charges is there, only a person who is having money, they can only what go in the toll roads. That is what excludable. When payment comes, then it is excludable. When there is no payment, then non-excludable. First in, first come, then it is rivalrous. Anytime you can come, okay, then it is non-rivalrous. Indivisibility. You can't divide. More vulnerable to free rider problem. Okay, so you can use the free goods at a free of cost. Anytime you can use the roads. The additional resources cost will be zero. The private goods, both excludable as well as what rivalrous. Food, clothing, car. Sir, common resources such as fish, stocks, forest, coal. Who comes first, they can enjoy. Then there will be a competition. Non-rivalrous, in case of C category, anyone can enjoy, subject to the condition you need to pay the price. If you are ready to pay price, okay, then you can enter. Otherwise, you can't. Pure public goods, non-excludable, non-rivalrous. Example is what? National defense. Sir, most of the public goods are both public and it will have the characteristics of what both the public goods and private goods characteristics. See, in public goods there may be a congestion. So in order to avoid that, they may restrict the uses, or they may fix the price for public goods. Example, toll charges. Okay, quasi public goods, here education, health services, so which is provided by both market as well as what government. But whenever the market is not able to provide health and education at large, then the government need to do that. Common access resources. Over usage of this common access resources, and also which results in the free rider problem. The incentive to let other people pay for what goods or services, the benefit are enjoyed by another person. Incomplete information. Sir, when there is no complete information, buyer or seller may take a wrong decision. So who need to provide the complete information? Incomplete information, complexity, unable to find the best price and quality, ignorant. Few product we can't take a decision at all. In hospital, if you admitted your patient, they said that you need to get operated. We can't take the risk. So whatever be the price, we are ready to pay. Asymmetric information. Only one person know the full information, the other person will not know that. For example, if I am selling a second-hand car without engine, only I know. The opponent person will not know. That will be called as asymmetric information. Or a person who is taking health insurance know about his cardiac attack, insurance company will not know. So these type of there is no proper transfer of information. That is what we call it as asymmetric information, which will amount to lemons market. You may choose the wrong product. That is what adverse selection. This which results in moral assaults. So with this, we have completed chapter 2, unit 2, market failure. We will discuss the role of government to overcome what market failure in the tomorrow's class. Thank you, friends. Bye. Have a nice day. Rahul? Rahul? Are you with me?